Hello and welcome. Welcome to the Daily Reset for Success Show. My name is Marian LaSalle, and with me today we have Deb Nabors and Lady Lou. Hi, ladies.
Hi.
How's it
Good
going today?
morning.
It's
Doing well?
great. It's great, Marian. Thank you. We're so tickled to be here.
You know, today we are talking about resetting your lives by trying to figure out when you felt like you were in your prime and getting back there. Because even if you're 20 years old, you may not feel like you're in your prime, right?
Exactly.
The other day, somebody was asking me, Marian, you're 62 years old. Do you feel old? And I thought a minute and I said, I feel mature. I don't feel old. So is that what you're talking about, Deb Nabors?
No, it goes beyond that, Marian. It's like, so when do you feel like you were like the most active? You could do anything that you wanted to do. You felt like you looked great. You felt healthy, and that's so important, especially today, because without our health, we have nothing. And this
Right.
is just, this whole pandemic has brought everything right to the surface here. So it's a great time to, kind of chill out and reset and just get back to what's important, what does make you feel like you were in your prime. And it is possible at any age.
Oh, I like that because I'm 75 and I don't feel old.
Well, I'm in the middle of you guys, so.
Perfect. Oh, we're so glad that people will be able to know you and know what you do and how you can help them. So what's a secret or a tip that you found that works for you that you feel would work for our audience?
Be kind to yourself. That's the biggest tip I can give anybody.
Yes. Tell us more.
Just be kind. Don't compare yourself to anyone but yourself. Be your own personal best, and you know what makes you feel good. You know how many hours of sleep you need, but we don't listen to our body. And so we really just need to be kind, listen to our body, and do the right things.
Perfect. Thank you.
I want to dive into that more. I really do. Be kind to yourself. I think so many of us beat ourselves up that we need a plan. And I like checklists, okay? So let's go with the top 3 things that a person can do to be kind, because it's easy to say, well, be kind to yourself. But what does that mean? How do I do that?
So get enough rest. Don't always put everyone before you, because if you don't have anything left to give, I always say you can't give what you do not have, right? So you've got to be able to have yourself in the right place. Lee and I have 15 grandkids. I mean, so there's a whole lot of going on here, and they're in New York, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Alabama, and we're in Texas. So if we don't take care of ourselves, what do we have left to give those 15 grandchildren? And there are blessings that that's what keeps us going every day. So we have to make sure that we stay healthy, And we've had our health challenges, so we know, sometimes until you have something going on, you don't realize how crucial that is. But we've been there, and we've had the C word in our life, and now we have this pandemic. But if you're not rested and you're not having exercise as part of your daily, and that doesn't mean you have to go to the gym, even when we can go to the gym, it means take a walk. Don't sit at your desk all day. And it's easy to say, don't stress, and there's all kinds of stresses right now. But you just need to kind of make sure that you're taking care of yourself.
Oh, that's perfect. Oh, wow. Well, are there any other things, like any particular exercises or any particular supplements or other type of goodies that you find that really work for you?
Good question, Lady Lou.
Let's have a cheers to zeal, right?
Okay.
Because
cheers to
a little
zeal.
over 2 years ago, I have been introduced to a company called Zervita. Latin word means a risen life. Now, no matter what your spiritual beliefs are, most of us have something that we look up to, right? So this company was actually formed to actually honor and glorify God to provide a platform where everyone could win, and servant leadership. So what does servant leadership means? And I have a corporate background, and I know that the higher you go, you expected more people to serve you, right? They all agree?
All right.
Yeah.
In Zervita, it's a humble attitude where the higher we go, the more we serve others.
Ooh.
And so what we can do to help our bodies is to drink something that has 27 botanicals in it, has all your vitamins and nutrients, mix it with cold water, shake and take, and it's done. You've taken care of the nutrition in your body. Do it once or twice a day, depending on what you need, how much zeal you need in your life. And like I said, I need a lot of zeal in my life. So thank you guys for drinking your zeal today.
You're welcome.
Well, you're well. I drink it every day. And, a friend of mine was dehydrated. You can get distracted and forget to drink water and whatnot. So if you put this on your checklist, remember I told you I love checklists. If you put this on your checklist of things that you need to do, drink water, and you think, oh, water, But man, you can get your water in and it tastes delicious with some zeal in it. It's just one little scoop. Just like she said, you stir it or shake it and off you go. And it's easy and it tastes delicious. If this gentleman would have been drinking his zeal, I don't think he would have fallen down and hurt himself terribly because he was dehydrated. He ended up in the hospital because he was dehydrated and got dizzy and fell on the concrete. You don't think about that.
No.
Hydration is important.
And Louise mentioned, taking care of yourself. Have a bottle of water or a glass of water on your bedstand.
Yes.
Because when we wake up in the morning, we're already dehydrated. So have that water before you've had that cup of coffee. And that's just, one tip. Go ahead, have your zeal. There's a commercial. One of the newscasters talks about her warm water and lemon. That's excellent to do in the morning. Excellent.
It's
just
a cleanse.
Kind of flushes the system.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, I like that. Well, what got you into this health stuff? I call it health stuff because it's so big. The whole industry is huge. But what led you into it, Deb?
So that's a funny story. So, like I said, I had a corporate background, and 30 years ago, someone introduced me to Mary Kay. And they told me that I'd be in a room with 70 women and they all get along. And I was like, well, that I got to see. So that kind of was my history. And even though, sometimes I've been a single mom, sometimes I've been married, sometimes I've been supporting sick husbands, elderly parents, you have to have something to fall back on, right? So direct sales has literally saved my financial life.
Wow.
So many times. So I retired from GE, followed my cowboy here to Houston. We ultimately got married 5 years ago, and it's been the biggest blessing of my life. But I had to do something, right? I mean, he was perfectly happy for me just to take care of him and take care of the house and not need to do anything else, right?
Oh, that must be him behind you.
Speaking of the devil, he's sneaking in there behind me. He
saw
must know
him.
I was talking about him.
No, I want to know if you want coffee.
No, I'm good.
Right.
Thanks. See how good
Oh,
he
nice.
is? So anyways, he just was checking to make sure I didn't need coffee.
Bless him.
So I was like, so what am I going to do? And so I wanted to network. That's how I met Mary and LaSalle. What do we call that? Referral business builders, RBB.
That's right.
And lo and behold, I was doing that, got involved in some health and wellness with a gentleman named Paul Magistri, who I love. It's become my best friend, business partner. We do horses together, just share life together. So 2 years ago, he said to me, he always called me his corporate wife. So 2 years ago, he said to me, you need to follow me. I'm like, I've been following you. No. You need to not ask questions. You need to get in your car and you need to follow me. Like, okay. Now, he always said wherever he went, I would go. And he still says that today, right? So I'm like, okay. So I don't know what this is about. And we go up and we ring this gorgeous doorbell mansion, right? And he introduces me to this gentleman and says, we're going to this company called Zervita. It's like, we are?
We are?
And he goes, yep. So I got some background on it. And he said, okay, so a couple days later, he goes, okay, look like $1 million, Deb. We're going to corporate. Well, corporate was here in Houston, so I didn't have to go very far. And drank my first Zeal. Quite honestly, didn't like the first flavor. So if you try Zeal and you don't like the first one, we got 5 others. If you try them all and you don't like them, the problem's you. But anyhow, got introduced to Zeal, looked at the compensation, looked at those founding principles that I had and said, I need to do this.
Hey,
So,
look, Carolyn Gray in the audience.
Good morning,
Hey,
Carolyn. Great to have you.
Yeah.
Great to have you. Hope you get something out of our talk this morning. So anyway, so direct sales literally saved my life. I'm in the right place at the right time now, especially, who knew 2 years later, 2.5 years later, we'd have this pandemic and have a solution. So just very excited.
It's interesting you should mention that, because on Mondays on this show, Daily Reset for Success at noon, we have a show called Work from Home. So we're always giving tips on not just jobs, but side hustles and businesses that you could start on your computer. So I think that this is probably something you could talk about with Zervita, whatever. I'd love to. Can people make money from their computer if they're working from home right now?
Absolutely.
And how would you go about doing that? So
it's just a matter of sharing, having a conversation, being genuine, being authentic, I guess is the word of today, and just finding out what's going on in their lives. And do they need something, do they need what you have? What I like about you and your company, because I know other people in the industry, what I like is no one's trying to talk me into making this a business. They just want to make sure I have my Zeal as a customer. They're servicing me as a customer. So I'm so happy. I can't even tell you. When I want to order more, I can go on a program where they send it to me every month, or I can just call you and say, hey, I need some. And I'd really like lemon lime next time. Oh, don't you worry about it, Marion. I'm going to drop it off tomorrow. I'm like, oh, great. So you're very accommodating. You and the whole company, the people that it attracts are really good, healthy, happy, generous people. Well, it all comes back to, to be in business, you need to have leadership skills, but to do something like this, you just need to take care of people. It's all about customer service. I feel taken care of. Thank you. I'm so glad.
That's beautiful, because I know this is slightly off topic, but when you have a business or a side hustle, Marion loves to call them that, you have tax benefits. I have a friend who's always had side hustles, and now she doesn't have any deductions. She can't take mileage, and mileage pays well. Of course, we can't do the mileage right now, but having this side business helps you in a lot of ways. You can even hire your children if you have children.
And I have done that.
Oh, see?
I have done that. You can get them to label the bottles, and you can do that. And the IRS will tell you the number one way to save money on your taxes is to have a home-based business. Well, and of course you got to be able to show that you're actually doing trainings and taking care of customers. Because if you're reporting all this mileage and you've got 2 customers, you're probably going to have a problem. But if you legitimately write off your trips, and our conventions usually become the starting point for our vacation, right? Because most of it's going to be business, and it takes a little tracking, but it is the number one way. I'm glad you brought that up, Louise, because it is the best way to save money on your taxes.
I know.
So let's spend the next few minutes talking about the checklist of how we can start feeling like we're in our prime.
Yes.
So that means something different to everyone, right? So you have to figure out, what do you want to be able to do? What is it that you can't do now that you want to do? So you have a goal. I got one. Okay, go. I want to hear it.
I want to be able to get up off the floor without calling for help. You know, I work with the elderly, and that's one of the first things that they work on. If you fall and you're by yourself and you don't have a call button on your neck, what are you going to do? You're going to lay there until, you know, somebody finally comes to the door? No, you have to be able to get up off the floor by yourself. And so it's because I'm not old. It's because I'm overweight and I'm mature. Okay. So that's my number one goal that I have is I want to be able to get up off the floor. So how do I do that?
So stretching, you want to be able to get out and get some exercise. Start, you know, kind of bloom where you're planted, right? If you're not a gym rat, as I call them, what do? Do you walk? Okay, so maybe you want to walk more, and you need to strengthen that core.
Yes.
So you need to just go ahead and Google, you know, core strengthening exercises. Okay. Something that's going to help you. And you know, if you really are concerned, maybe you do need that button around your neck. Okay.
Oh.
But if you just know you need to get in better shape, take it one day at a time and start strengthening the core, doing your stretching exercises, maintain good posture, and just eat healthy and get rest.
Okay. Lady Lou, what's your goal?
Oh, my goal is I guess it was about last fall when I was moving my plants in on the porch for the winter. I worked all day, and I mean, I have some heavy plants, and at my age, I probably should have had some help, but didn't. And at the end of the day, I was moving the last few little plants, and I think my blood sugar had dropped, and I turned around. I was bending over, and I turned around and fell right on my face on the concrete.
Oh.
And I just laid there. I thought, what just happened? I didn't know what had happened. It was that quick. But luckily, I was bending over, so I didn't fall that far. And the concrete was muddy and it was wet, and I'm just laying there. What am I doing down here? But there was a big potted plant right next to me, and I was able to use that to push myself up. And I didn't hurt myself, thank you, God. But it's the toughie when you get old. How do I get up?
Well, and the thing is, you don't have to be old, right? There's young people that have blood sugar issues, and they have to be able to, again, you got to listen to your body. You know when you need some extra help, right? And so, again, the things that Mary and I were just talking about is just you need to make sure that you have the strength to do those things. You know, if you can't, you know, do squats, so you just kind of get used to getting from that position up. And go ahead and get one of those wheelie carts for those plants the next time. You can just kind of slide it under there.
I did. That's the only thing that got them in, because I've got some that weigh, 50 to 100 pounds. But these were the little ones I was doing at the end. But I was tired, and my blood sugar, I was hungry, didn't know it. And my blood sugar just zipped, but I got up, I finished, then I went in. It was okay.
Oh, we're glad you're okay.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
If you're listening to this on a podcast, you may not realize that we have up on the screen, we do live stream on Facebook and YouTube under the Natural Curiosity channel. And what's running across the screen right now is how to get a hold of Deb Nabors. So she has an email address, findyourprimewithdd@gmail.com. So that way you can go and check her out. You have a conversation with her, and you can feel like I do, taken care of. Oh. So we also have a website up where you can order your Zeal if you'd like. It's zurvita.com/debnabors/en/US.
And spell Zurvita.
ZUR. VITA.
That's
we
good.
Do it together, see?
Zurvita. That's so good.
Okay, so one of the things you forgot to tell us about is the same formula for emergency is the same guy who made this formula.
Oh, I love my emergency.
Correct.
That's absolutely correct. So when Zurvita went to Mark McKnight, the founder of Emergency, he said, we want all this in one. We want it to taste good. He goes, now you're really asking for a lot. You want me to put all these 27 botanicals in. You want me to put all these vitamins and minerals in, and you want it to taste good. So maybe we need to split them apart. And Mark Jarvis at Zurvita said, no, I want it to be simple. I want it to be affordable, and I want it to taste good. And so that is how Zeal 9 years ago actually developed. Good morning, Mary Mount. What a great name.
Isn't that a terrific? She's a great lady too.
Wow. I hope I get to meet you someday. So anyway, so that is how Zeal came about. Now, in Mexico, we had mango, and we've actually brought mango to the US. So every day they are behind the scenes making our products better. And we're just talking about one product. They did $100 million with just Zeal in a year.
I can understand that.
If you can imagine having one product these days and do $100 million in business is phenomenal. Now, of course, we've added, our transformation system. If you want to gain weight, who wants to gain weight? But anyways, there are people out there that need to gain weight. Or if you want to lose weight, or just whatever, your prime weight is, that'll help you in a fuel performance. So, Deshaun Watson is our national spokesperson now. If you're not a football lover, he's the Houston, Texas quarterback, and he loves this company. You're going to see Zurvita nationwide because of that gentleman. And he is just such a wonderful young man. If you can look up his interview about Zurvita, it's just, everything's there, but we have a whole fuel performance line, fuel repair, and it is safe for athletes. That's a big concern, right? So we are certified that all of our products are safe, and that's why Deshaun can represent us.
Oh, that is huge. And
Cool?
the best part, and I know because this has always happened to me, all of a sudden oh my gosh, I'm almost out. And it takes a day or two or three, depending on where you are, to get your order. And then you call them up, and then it doesn't come, and then you're out. This company has a way of putting it, what do you call that? How you can get it every month without thinking about it.
That's our preferred customer. So it's a monthly reorder. You can cancel at any time, no obligation, and change the flavor. But yes, you will have your Zeal every day.
Without having to think about it before you run out.
Exactly.
What I do is I have a canister at work in the lemon lime flavor, and then I have one at home with the berry flavor, and that's what it looks like. This is the berry. Yeah. And I love them both. I do have a preference, the lemon lime. That's what Louise has.
I know that's Louise's favorite.
Yes.
But it's nice to be able to have it, two different flavors so you can mix it up. Nobody wants to be bored using the same flavor every day unless it's, something you really got used to as a child,
Chocolate.
The chocolate, okay. Hey, do we have chocolate? I've never seen that one.
We have chocolate protein.
Oh, okay.
Chocolate protein for those chocoholics out there.
Yeah.
But also you could get a canister in 12 bottles, and you can get those 12 bottles in different flavors. So that if you're not sure what you like, you can order a berry with the 12 mixed cup blends, and then pick your favorite from there too.
Oh.
And share it, because why would you want to share it? Well, you know what? If you share Zeal with 3 people, now your Zeal is free.
And that's what I did with Louise. I shared it with her, and
you did?
She really likes the lemon lime.
Yes, I do. My favorite for sure. What other flavors? So lemon lime, berry, and you said mango.
Now you're gonna test me. Yeah, Tropic Dream. What else do we have? Grape, kiwi, watermelon. So there's something for everyone.
Yeah. Oh, I love it, because the fresh fruit flavors are just so refreshing.
So tell me, Louise, how do you feel when you drink Zeal? Having a good flavor, a good taste, you can get that anywhere. How does Zeal make you feel?
Well, it gives me stamina, because I have this little dip in the afternoon, and I have been known to go to sleep in this chair, sitting up and not fall out. I don't know how that works.
My husband calls those power naps. I'm a good power napper.
But anyway, the dips have stopped. I still have a little one because it's just normal in our bodies ebb and flow. But I don't go to sleep in this chair anymore. That's big.
Great. And
And I
do you have a
usually drink it.
testimony, Marion?
Oh,
yeah.
of course. First of all, the biggest thing for me, especially when my friend, got dehydrated and passed out on the concrete and hurt himself really bad. Okay. That is one of my first testimonials about it. Is it tastes so good, I want to drink it. And so I'm getting my water in.
Yes.
Let's face it, if you just hand me a glass of water, it's probably going to sit there all day. And I might take a little sip, but I can down the zeal in no time. I mean, it tastes so good. I just want to drink it. So that's my first thing. The second thing is, I think Louise is right. It helps keep my energy up during the day. Now, I don't really have a problem with sleeping or anything like that, but I know that I feel good inside, and I know I'm doing something good for my body. I just love it. I love the taste. I love what it does for me, and I love how it hydrates me.
There you
And you'll
go.
see on the website that the studies show it helps with energy, focus, mental clarity, and we have the studies behind that so you can actually see the results.
We need that.
Now, I did notice, because one of the first things Dr. Oz was talking about when this virus was going along is that you need to increase your vitamin C. You need to have at least 2,000 whatevers of vitamin C. So I looked at Emergen-C. He was recommending Emergen-C. And I thought, okay, let me see how much vitamin C is in here, because that's, And so I looked on here on the back, and it literally says 100%. One glass is 100% of your vitamin C for the day.
Perfect.
So it makes me feel good. I sound like a commercial, but I'm sorry. It really does. And I love it. And I do.
And we love our customers, Marion. So thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's what it's all about, is sharing, like you said. If we can't share things, what's the good of having them? Yeah, Marion and I can't keep our mouths shut. We have to share.
It's true. That should be our middle name. Now, we only have a couple minutes left. Do you have any other tips for helping us feel in our prime, no matter what our age?
I just can't reiterate enough is don't compare yourself to others. Just look inside and what makes you feel good, and do a journal. Yeah. And I call it a gratitude journal, and just write down the things that you're grateful for. And if some things are just like on the other list and you're like, geez, I wish I could change that, figure out how you can do it. There's plenty of information. There's experts out there. Call Marion, call me, get some advice on, look, I'm just not feeling like I should. So be able to reach out. I think the one thing that's come out of this social distancing is that our relationships have become more intense. A lot, I've always been good at building relationships, but people are not always thinking about picking up the phone and calling someone, and just call them and say, how are you doing? How are you doing in this pandemic? How are you doing?
You have it with you all the time. Call me, okay? Call me.
Is there a song like that? Call me. No, I can't sing.
Deb is good at that. If I don't call her, she picks up the phone. Hey, Marion, how you doing? I just want to check on you. I'm like, wow, how many people do that? You need to do that too. Let people know you care. So I wrote down some of my lists here of what we talked about today. Stretching. I think that's a really good idea. That doesn't really put exercise in there. It's stretching. Okay, stretch your bones, stretch your muscles, all that, right? Get yourself going and move. Either walk or do some exercise. If you're not a gym rat, get on YouTube and look at some of the exercises that you can do right in your chair. How about that? Eating healthier. It's right here on the list. Journal. Deb is not the first person or the last to tell us that we need to get it out of our head and onto paper. And we don't need to type it. We need to write it in,
Yes.
on a piece of paper. Journal what you're feeling or your thoughts or your dreams. And you know what I had last on my list? Drink your zeal. Hydrate.
Hydrate. Hydrate.
And if
Oh,
you get
that's
tired of zeal, we have H2O. You just take a little straw, put it in your water, and you can shake it and take it. And you asked me how we survive, how do you do this business? Basically, it's just, in my business, I just ask them what they need. I send them a sample. I send them a video so they understand what it does. And then the rest is they just sign up and they have their zeal, whatever they need every single month.
While Lady Lou is taking us out, I'm going to put Deb's information down below again so that you can get a hold of her. If you would like a sample or you want to talk to her, please do. She's friendly, as you can tell, and she's not pushy, all right? So her information's going up on the screen right now.
yes.
I'm funny too.
And she's funny. We love that. But also on the description below the videos on both YouTube and Facebook, there's a description of our little interview today, our talk, and it has Deb's information there also. So you can just go down there and click on it. And then we're on our podcast platforms. It's also listed at the bottom of the podcast list also. So you can find the information if you don't want to have to go back through the video. But thank you, Deb, for being with us today. You're a delight. Marion told me you were, and I'd only talked to you on the phone, but now we know each other, I feel like. So
absolutely.
It's
This was a lot of fun, ladies. Thank you so much for inviting me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And thank you, Marion, for all the work you do behind the scenes. She's our technical genius, and we appreciate that. That she's who brings us to you every day, most every day. So we thank you for being here. We appreciate you. We love you, and we'll see you again on down the road. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.